When you look at PO matching, it's a very interesting problem to solve. You're basically bringing together an invoice that was generated in the business language of your vendor. And every vendor have their own business language. And you're bringing the PO that was created in your own language. And it's really, really hard to bring it together. So we challenged ourselves, and we were quite amazed from the results. I mean, this was even more than we've expected.
The reason we started with PO matching is we saw an untapped opportunity in terms of an area where AP teams spend a lot of time, and for the latest AI technologies to have a really big impact in saving time there. There was a lot of untapped potential, and it made sense as a natural starting point.
I spend a lot of time as a fly on the wall of AP departments and watch their activities. And you see, all the parts of their job. And you see the part of their job that can be taken away. And that's really, really exciting, because that really allows them to focus on the part that they don't have enough time to focus on because of all these other things.
Existing state-of-the-art, existing solutions in the market would look at things like look at the line items on the invoice, look at the item description, the item code or SKU, the quantity, the cost, and compare that to the lines on the purchase order to try to find the matching line. But we also knew that those approaches were brittle, that the real world is messy, and that in many cases, the line item as it's presented on the invoice doesn't look exactly like it does on the purchase order. With Stampli, our philosophy is that we want to work hand in glove with your ERP and seamlessly have data move back and forth. Our customers' experience with Stampli is only going to be as good as the quality and depth and reliability of that integration. And so we've brought that same philosophy to our approach to PO matching, and that's really helped feed our cognitive AI with the most comprehensive data to help it make the best matches and the best recommendations. What we've seen with our competitors, many of whom offer purchase order matching capabilities, is that they're using these more rudimentary, proximity-based, algorithmic, not so much AI-driven approaches. And so our cognitive AI's ability to look at the line item holistically, to understand the meaning behind the words used to describe that item, looking at the entire document, that our system offers next-level capabilities.
Cognitive AI is about AI that can perform tasks at the level of a human. It's essentially reverse engineering what a human would do in complex tasks, understanding what's the information they have in front of them at that moment, their knowledge of the process, their understanding of many things beyond what they're just looking at, and performing the task at that level. And to verify that it's making the right decision, looking from different angles at the problem. And that brings a complete new level of abilities and certainty in what the AI can actually present or suggest as what's the right action to take right now.
We thought we were throwing really difficult, tricky examples at it, and it handled them with aplomb. Looking at the meaning behind the word and finding a corresponding word, taking an invoice that had presented the invoice number or the purchase order in a really unusual and not obvious way that a human would eventually get, but a computer might struggle with, and it just getting it easily. Our cognitive AI can support finding the purchase order even if the purchase order number doesn't appear on the invoice, or if there are multiple purchase orders on the invoice. It could even be the wrong purchase order number, even if the item name is different, or the item description, the item code or SKU, the quantity or unit costs, the amounts, even the languages can be different. So maybe the purchase order is in English, but the invoice is in Spanish. Our system can handle that.
When we started Stampli, it was all about the collaboration of the process. We took the invoice page and we built on top of that your ability to ask questions, get answers, chat, and have context for everything. And I think that's quite amazing. That was always the promise, just that the technology could only take that far. And this technology can really take it all the way. And that's really, really exciting.